So let's jump into our value prop roulette. I have our list here. I know there's a few missing today, but that's okay. Actually, show of hands, who's changed their value proposition since last week? So 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Tyler, I can't see. Charlene, has yours changed?
Yeah, sorry, you can't see me, so.
That's okay. Okay, so again, we're going to follow the same order, and then you're to give us the context. So context can be, you're just going to do your mantra, so it could be your quick headline that's living on your landing page. It can be your elevator pitch, so maybe 1 or 2 minutes. It can be your more towards your mission and vision. So you give us the context, and or it also can be to a client, it could be to an investor. So give us the context, and then go for it. All right, so I'm excited to see some of the changes, and then as usual we will do feedback. So we'll just kind of bounce around the room and do feedback as well. So first up on the list is Chris.
Okay, so this is just like if I was telling a customer about if it wasn't necessarily about like how they can give back or all this stuff, it's just about how like their dog will look. And that's just saying like, well, wearing Bernice, your furry friend does not need to worry about standing out in our unique prints and styles.
What was that last part? In your unique?
Oh, in our unique styles and prints.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that was, what was that context? That was just how you're going to talk about.
Just talking to like a customer, like kind of almost like I feel like just like part of the value prop, like where your dog will stand out, like how you don't have to worry about like like looking like all the other pets that like PetSmart or something like that. Like you're just like you have like this unique look. So when you're buying my product.
Awesome, thank you, Chris.
No problem.
Christine, can you give Chris some feedback?
It sounds like very much a tagline for the product, like just focus on describing what the product looks like. And I like the way how it's giving you the pride, like it looks different on my pet, with your dog lover. And I mean, like your pet is very important. That's why you spend money buying that unique color. And I think that way it stood out to me.
Okay, thank you.
Any other feedback for Chris, guys? No? Okay, awesome. Thank you, Chris. Good job. I like it.
And it was actually, like that would be good for like packaging. Yeah, because you want to like, this is unique or
I feel like that could be a category, part of your category description possibly too, and then you maybe go into a bit more detail about it afterwards.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, next up we have Suraj.
Hi, everyone. I just want to talk about this. This one would be much more like a elevator pitch, like a 30-second. Taxably is a tech-based accounting firm based on a paperless approach. Our mission is to introduce innovative ways to make taxes easier for people through technology and best-in-class customer service.
I like it.
That was really good.
But it was simple, to the point.
Yeah.
More of you using big words, but what I've learned in the last couple of weeks that use simple words.
Yeah, simple, clear. Simplicity, clarity. That's what we learned yesterday. Good job.
But you managed to get everything you wanted to get in there in a very concise way, which is really good.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the ending of it was new. Best-in-class customer service, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Andre, well, since you started, do you want to, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I think I said everything I wanted to say about it. I think I like the ending. It's really great. I like that because I know you were struggling, and a lot of you are also not struggling, but are trying to find ways to fit all of your business in 1 or 2 sentences, and that's really hard. So I think Suraj is a great example of, can you repeat the first sentence of it? I think it was tech-based accounting firm with a paperless approach. I think that was the words you used. So you were able to communicate that it's paperless without having to make a whole sentence about it, right? So those conjunctions, those words that can connect a sentence are really important in that scenario. So you can translate a lot without saying a lot.
Okay. Thank you.
Great feedback, Andre. Thank you. I think if you remember from James's presentation yesterday when he used, I think that art gallery example, and they had that giant paragraph, right? And then you just went and highlighted like those key words. I definitely think that exercise, I've done that actually before, where I have all these things I want to say, and it's like, it's just hard to find that version that works. But sometimes the best exercise is if you're really having a hard time making it small and concise, is writing everything you can think of, everything you want to say, and then looking at it and just finding those highlight those key parts and strip everything else away. That can be very helpful if you're kind of stuck with making a small sentence or two work.
Yeah, that made me think about it more yesterday. Exactly that one, the big sentence, big paragraph, and he made it into like a few words. I have it screenshot from yesterday. That's why I was looking at it. And, yeah.
I'm glad to hear that helped you. Thank you, Suraj. Next up, we have Tyler.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna. You guys have heard my like big value prop, so I'm gonna try to change it up a bit because I feel I got that nailed on. So what I'm going for is some sort of motto or something quick that I could put on a website or my social media platform. So it's gonna be short and sweet, but I want to know what you guys think. So here it is. With full access to 12 beautiful acre estate, let's make social distancing a thing of the past. So I'm trying to establish that I have distance, I have room for weddings. So what do you guys think? trying to hit something there.
Jesse, you want to go?
Yeah. Hey, Tyler. I think you're on the right path. Just my first initial reaction is I think it's still a little touchy, just with the current climate. I think you should focus on, your distance and your space and, a quick hook like that. But just my first initial impression, I think it's the whole climate with social distancing and stuff. I mean, I'm the first one that wants it gone, but I just think it's a little touchy right now, and some people may not take it as well as we do.
Yeah, sounds good, brother.
Let's have a quick vote here. Who thinks too touchy to include on your website? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
5 out of 9. Those are losing odds in my world. So thank you. So I was trying to figure something out. So thanks for the input, guys.
Like, I guess, like, I would say, like, because, like, if you had an Instagram post, but then, like, at the bottom somewhere, you were like, our event space is complying to all COVID rules, and we have, like, distancing with chairs and stuff like that. Like, you could talk about it in that way, because businesses are all, like, I see it every time with every restaurant.
Like, we have 12 acres, and we can ensure all this space and stuff.
Yeah.
I like where you're going, Chris.
Reassure them. Just show them what I can offer and just reassure their safety. Don't make it
I wouldn't put it in like the slogan type thing, but like definitely in like the body of like your post, make sure people know that it's safe for them to go there.
I think Chris, you're right on the right track. I think it's all about context for this. I think there's a place for it. I could see it definitely more in your social media, that that could be something around a post where you're talking about your policies, your procedures, things like that. But to make it something that is a slogan for the facility, I would rather see you put a positive spin on it and just stay away from that and talk, more highlight your attributes and your benefits, like highlight things that, make your space unique, and don't even put the thought of COVID in their head with your website, but definitely have a part, because you're going to need it as an event facility. There will be a part of your website that, talks about your policies, your procedures, and safety, and that's where that would live. But you don't want to bring it, I don't think you want to bring it front and center.
Yep. No, it's perfect. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Good feedback, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Christine, your turn.
Okay, I took what I've learned and kind of put everything together and see if it works. I spent quite a bit of time, and I mean, like, what I've learned from the last 2 days or from last week, whatever, really helped me think and be honest with me and just give me whatever you think. Okay, here, this elevator pitch. Hi, I'm Christine Chung, the founder of Colia Hub. We help women between the ages of 25 and 40 who are feeling stuck or not happy with their current situation. Unlike traditional life coach services, we don't look at what is broken. Instead, we build on what is working. This strength-based approach helps clients see their inner strengths so they will become more confident in dealing with challenging situations. Ultimately, they will see each life's challenges as an opportunity for growth. Is it too lengthy?
For an elevator pitch, definitely not. No, like an elevator pitch can be, upwards of 2 minutes, right? So, okay, let's get some specific feedback.
Yes, please.
Kristen has her hand up.
Can I? Oh,
Sorry, you can both go. Kristen, you go first.
I really liked it. I think this is the first time I've listened to you, and I feel really clear on what you're doing and what you're like trying to do for people. So yeah, good job. It was great.
Thank you.
Charlene, go ahead.
Okay, so there's a couple things. You said the same word twice. I forget what it was. Something about there's 2 words in it said twice. And then the other thing is the age bracket, 25 to 40. I feel like you should expand that because it's above 40. Like so many women are going through menopause. And the word was challenges. You said challenges twice. Sorry.
Okay.
And I just feel like I'm in a lot of these groups. I actually wanted to send you some information because what you're doing is like really awesome, and it's on kind of a path that I've been following for a little while now, which is like self-help and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the women that I'm in groups with are over 40, like they're like 50, 60, yeah. So I think that you should make that a little bit bigger, and even starts younger too.
I agree with you. Maybe I should not include the age because if I'm talking to a person that is out of the age bracket, it looks like, okay, you're not like, I'm not part of that, right? So maybe I should not put the age in
You
this.
can say women of all ages.
Yeah.
But then,
or you can just, you can kind of bucket into more of a catch-all term that doesn't have a defined number with it.
I was going to say, I think you could just say women. Like I think in hearing your elevator pitch, similar to the example James gave yesterday, you can say what you're saying right now in one paragraph, maybe in 2 sentences. You just have to cut out a few words, and you'll still get the exact same message across. So you can say just women. You can say I think there was a sentence where you said, through these strength-based programs, they will receive this. You can just say they will receive this. Like you don't have to explain all of the method in an elevator pitch, in my opinion, if it's supposed to be quick and easy. And also you want to be able to remember it, right? So if you have to memorize this big long thing, you'll be nervous because you have to recite it. So try and boil it down to its kind of simplest form.
Great, thank you.
Good feedback, everybody.
Just one more thing. Can I add something? Sorry. I want you to look at Danielle Amos, Danielle Amos. She's doing a Prosperous You class. It's right up your alley. It ends today, but she's on Facebook. And I meant to tell you earlier, I'm so sorry. But anyways, it's pretty amazing, and it's right up your alley. And you should like watch like a couple of her videos or look at her things. And she's from she's doing something from Proctor Gallagher. I don't know if you've heard of that institute.
No, Danielle
Amos, Amos, and it's called the Prosperous You class.
Okay.
And it closes today. Like she's shutting down all the videos tonight at midnight. So take a look at that and take a look at what she's doing. It's kind of similar to you. And then also the Proctor Gallagher Institute is kind of right up your alley as well.
Thank you so much, Charlene.
No problem.
Thank you, Charlene.
One thing,
Christina. Oh,
yes.
Sorry. Go ahead, Tyler. Did you have something?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch something positive on that. Is I really liked when you let me know that I wasn't broken and that you're gonna focus on things at work. Believe it or not, that little sentence empowered me where I don't feel like I'm asking for help. I'm just seeking guidance. So I really like that one line you had where I'm not broken. you're going to focus on what works. So I just want to tell you, I really like that line.
Thank you. That's good. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Thank you, Tyler.
What's that,
Christine,
Dave? Do you have something?
I had a couple notes that,
Yeah.
that I noticed. One was when you mentioned challenges, I almost wanted to know more because you kind of just skimmed over the surface of it. So what specific, I know like in an elevator pitch, you only have so much time, but is there a way you could get a little more specific with the types of problems you're helping people with? So it kind of frames my mind. So, challenges is broad, right? So is there a way that you can give me a little bit more information there? The other thought I had was around maybe flipping the script a little bit. With a different kind of elevator pitch would be where you can put the hook more at the front third of it, where you start your elevator pitch more with putting me into the shoes of the person you're trying to help. So almost like telling a bit of a story. Have you ever felt like this, or is this like you? Where you kind of give an example of a person that would be in one of these situations. And then you talk about how you work with someone like that to solve it. So that would just be more of a challenge to you to kind of maybe reframe it so that you can get me to buy in a little bit more from an emotional context. I'm not saying that that's the right way to go. It's just a different way. It'd be interesting to see what a version of it would look like that.
I appreciate that. I think, yeah, but think like when I'm working with it, I'm trying to visualize, I'm talking to a person using like daily conversation, right? So I think that is a good thing. I don't like when I'm writing it or typing it, it's pretty paper based. So maybe I should, this is what I wanted to say, just like talking to a person and then put it on writing. I think that's a good advice.
Yeah, I think maybe the exercise we're going to go over on tomorrow, actually, and then some of the sales ones, I think will really help you to kind of put some context because you have a person there with you. I always love like situations where you can get your customer to kind of imagine a scenario, right, where they can kind of see it. I personally find that powerful, but it's not necessarily always the approach to go. So, but thank you. I also really like your t-shirt, by the way. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thanks, Dave. Welcome. Thanks, everybody, for the feedback.
Thank you, everyone. Max, you're up next.
All right, so this is like my elevator pitch. So at Face to Face Vintage, we combat the world's second largest polluter while keeping money in your pocket. Our affordably priced vintage clothing is sure to fulfill your longing for nostalgia in the most sustainable way possible. That's it.
That's a big change. Good work.
Yeah,
man.
I tried switching stuff up, just seeing how it goes.
It was immediately almost put me off because I was like, oh, it's so different that it shocked me. I really liked it. It was great. Let's get some specific feedback from. Let's do Tyler. Have you done or who hasn't done any yet? Just raise your hand if you want to go. Chintan, you're up.
Hi, great, Maxwell. So it was to the point. I think you could introduce yourself because you're doing elevator pitch, I think, and you got the company name. You included some words like sustainable, affordable. So that's something that that would catch my attention and and what you are doing. Yeah, I think it was great.
I love the way you kind of reframed, like you put like your tagline right at the beginning, which was nice. You hooked me right away, and you put more of the focus towards the environmental impact, which is really cool too. I liked it. I liked that new version. Can't fully remember your old one, but I definitely like that one better.
I felt like I wanted to like join the cause. Like when you were saying it, I was like, yes, let's go like change help the environment and wear vintage. I think it's good. Powerful.
Good. Awesome feedback. Anybody else? Good. Great job, Max. Yeah, it's definitely making me care a lot more, which is good. Like I definitely, not that I wasn't paying attention before, but it was like I was much more active in the way I was listening that time. So great job. We have Kristen. You're up next.
Okay, so I was working on my company proposition. So I'm trying to like sum everything down into 2 sentences, which is hard, but so I have our running programs are inclusive to people everywhere. When you run with us, you become part of a community that will inspire you to look good, feel great, and be better.
Sorry, can you repeat it one more time, Kristen? Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. It says, our running programs are inclusive to people everywhere. When you run with us, you become part of a community that will inspire you to look good, feel great, and be better.
Great job.
Just one thing I want to say real quick. When you run with us, you could say when you run with soul runners or something. Try using your word in there somewhere. Oh, your name of your business in there somewhere. The rest sounds really great to me.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. I think Andre, you're definitely onto something. Like after Rhonda's conversation, that power of the name Soul Runners, like with you having a running tribe, things like that. I think you have something to play with there. And I think if you reiterate it as much as you can, like to make people feel like they're a soul runner, helps you build more brand. I definitely think you should play into that. Great observation, Andre. 2 things I noticed that you changed everywhere. You added everywhere and people. Before, your focus was much more narrow. That's a much more broader context. Is that purposeful?
Well, because the goal is to eventually have like us throughout Canada, right? Not just in London. So as it being like the company mantra, that's where I was going with that.
Love it. Love it.
Thank
It just shows right there some vision, right, to the future. Amazing. Jesse, go for it.
I was just saying thumbs up. Yeah, that's exactly what it's all about. So that was great.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to jump in?
I want to comment about like it's really short and really powerful, just that 1 or 2 sentences, and really show me that you're confident about your vision. Like you have that and you're aiming, you want to get there, and just make me wanted to join you because you are so passionate. I think that really got me.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
I wrote down like the 4 words that really like stood out to me: inclusive, community, and then everywhere. Yeah, I think you definitely took a lot of the learning, I think, from last week. Definitely, great job, Kristen. And good feedback, everybody. Anybody else? Good. Hi, Kelsey. Welcome. Good morning.
Hi, friends. Good to see you all. Nice hair, Christine.
So next up is, we'll skip those guys are not here today. Kelly. Oh, Kelly's not here today. That's who else was missing. Yeah. Okay. Jesse, you're up. Which is good timing because you probably have to go soon.
I do got a couple of people looking at me, but that's okay. I wanted to make sure I spent some time with you guys this morning. At least get this kind of thing in. So I've got just quick precursor to this. I went out the other night for dinner with a friend before I left on my trip. We went to Hunter & Co. And we just wanted to have a nice sit down and eat some food. And there was like a rowdy table next to us, 6 feet away. And there are a bunch of realtors and these like problems or profits guys and a bunch of these dudes I recognized from Instagram. Tons of money. I'm always about talking to people and networking and stuff like that. So we were chatting from afar, and I just got like a really quick a really quick crash course on like pitching to random people. And like, because they're like, oh, what? I was like, yeah, I make hot sauce. And they're like, well, what's your business and how are you making money? And they started dropping all these questions on me that this whole kind of program is really bringing together. And it was like, it showed me my gaps and what I need to focus on and all that kind of stuff. So this, the reason for that story is the reason for this new kind of style of value prop, because I wanted something that I can quickly say to somebody when they ask me, and they can get a short, concise, okay, that's what you're all about. No, watch out. That's what you're all about. So I'm got the first like half of it. I need like a value and a benefit at the end to kind of bring it all together, but I'll give you what I have so far and you guys can critique me from there. So the Hot Sauce Co. Hi, my name is Jesse. I'm the founder of the Hot Sauce Co. We're a straight up hot sauce company. we removed the gimmicks and funny names and we replaced it with quality in the bottle. And then I want something at the end to bring it together, but you know, I'm not quite there yet, but yeah, that's what I got so far.
Awesome, Jesse. That's a big change. I can definitely see some of the advice from last week immediately in there too. Okay, so let's put, who hasn't gone yet? Suraj, you want to jump in?
Yeah. I really like it, that part, Jesse, when you're saying that you take out all the like the not non-essential stuff and you guys focus on the quality, what's inside the bottle. That was really catchy. That and it was like straight to the point. And your name is, the name is also the hot sauce company. No funny business here and there. So I really like it. You have to finish it just with the value, like you said, and I think it will be a very good one.
Thanks, dude.
Anybody else want to jump in?
Can I jump in?
Of course, Kelsey.
Thanks. Jesse, I love that you are walking a really fine line about removing gimmicks but still staying playful. I think that's a hard line to walk, so I'll just caution you to be careful. But
Okay.
I think right now you're walking it very well, like by saying, you know, putting it in the bottle, like that's kind of punny and clever. So just don't stray too far while saying you're removing your gimmicks.
Okay.
I love puns, so I'm not the person to judge on that. Just, yeah, keep an eye on making sure you're not becoming a bit hypocritical if you go too far there.
Okay.
Unless you're doubling down on it, and that's like the joke, is that you're no gimmick, but everything you do is a pun, because that could be very. The dog is hilarious.
Yeah, I love this dog.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. His name's Newton.
Oh, that's cute. Which that could be an interesting take on it if you decide that, you know, you are no gimmicks, that you're straight up, but then in it kind of like below the surface it is very punny. Be an interesting way, but then you have to kind of stay on that kind of wavelength, which could be difficult.
Yeah.
So if that comes naturally to you, then I would say, yeah, lean into it hard, but it's up to you.
I do want it to, you know, Kristen said something the other day about kind of being sassy and hot sauce kind of being a little, you know, not risque, but sassy in that kind of format. And I am, you know, kind of a smart ass. So I do want that to reflect in the bottle, in the sauce, and the values that it brings. You know, it's really good, but you know, I don't know. I'll get there. But thanks for all the feedback, everyone.
Kelsey, it makes me think of that cookbook that you got me for my birthday, I think it's like, what is it called again?
Like the Badass Cookbook? Or...
Badass Cookbook, and there's like swear words in it, and it's like that kind of idea. But you can totally lean into. You just have to be very specific about your target audience with it. But
yeah,
you can be the sassy hot sauce company. Sassy marketing is super in right now. So
okay, thanks guys.
I think too, like with what Dave was saying, it's almost like if you are going to double down on it, it's almost like watching, I'm trying to think of a good example right now, but it's almost like watching a Disney movie where, you know, as a kid, you get it on this level and then you watch it as an adult and you're like, oh, damn. Okay. So I kind of
great
like
example.
little play on, it's at the surface, it means something, but underneath it means something else.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Great work, Jesse. Good job. And thanks for the feedback, everybody.
Thanks, guys. I'm gonna head out. I got the rest of my hiking buddies waiting. It was great seeing you guys this morning. Best of luck on the day, and I'll try and check in as much as I can.
Give that dog pets for us.
Thanks, Jesse. Take a picture and send it to us.
I will, from the summit for sure.
Have fun.
Be safe. Awesome. Okay, next up we have Charlene.
Okay, so I have a couple actually, and every time I'm just going to change the name for you guys because I've been working on different names. So, okay, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, what's the context?
Okay, so this is for, I guess, website. Yeah, like the first page of the website. Made to be a Model is an online mastermind that teaches you everything you need to know about the modeling biz, from how to walk, move on a photo shoot, makeup, what to bring on a shoot, and much more, to help you gain the confidence you need to achieve jobs and make your biggest dreams come true. We put 27 years of experience in the industry to save you time, money, and bring you to the next level of life you want to achieve. It was written out. I made a little quirky mistake, but anyways. And then the other one I have is Model Now Co. is an online mastermind that teaches you everything you know to be a model with the confidence you need to achieve jobs and to make your biggest dreams come true. We give you 27 years of experience to save you time, money, and gain skills such as runway moves and self-confidence to take you to the next level. So I've got two that I'm kind of working on, one shorter than the other.
Where do you see this living like more on an about page, or is this for a home page?
Yeah, an about page, sorry.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, who wants to jump in for feedback here? No volunteer. Okay, I'm going with Christine.
I don't know if I'm the right person to judge on. I found it the first one I was trying to follow, and then I was lost. And I picked up a couple words in closer to the end there, but still not able to put them together. The second one, I think I appreciate a little bit more because it really gave me that image.
Shorter.
So I don't know if that is just me, or is that in general people might get lost if that's too lengthy. But if I'm reading it, it may be different because you said it's going to be on the About Me page. So
Was it that Charlene was speaking a little too quickly, or was it that you...
Oh, sorry.
I think it's different when it is written down. Maybe I was able to, digest the content. But when I'm listening to it, then I kind of like lost.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the feedback I'm getting there is that if you do decide to speak a version of this, is that you may want to just slow down and emphasize certain things so that they have time to take a punch.
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor, Charlene? Can you repeat the two company names? Because you went quickly through that, and honestly, I didn't hear either of them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, Made to be a Model and Model Now.
And did you Google each of these to see if they're available?
Yeah, so Model Now, I'd have to add like a CO or an IN incorporated in the end. So Model Now Incorporated, and Made to be a Model is available. And I just decided after last week to, instead of focusing on like the whole entertainment, because modeling is different from acting, although it goes together, I'm going to do one for modeling and then I'll venture into acting later. But right now I just want to hone in on one thing. So that's why
that was
I did that.
That was going to be my question, was because you're putting model in the name, you're going all in there. So awesome.
Yeah, that's why I was doing that. It's a lot to cover the whole industry. So I'm just going to focus on that right now.
I think that's smart. I think, if you try to go, you're covering so much, it's hard. Like you can lose people by being too many, right? So having one brand that another one can be born out of is great as well, right? So, you try this one out and essentially the framework can be almost identical. And then, you just start focusing on different content.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like maybe it was better before. I don't know, but the feedback I got before was to add in what I plan on teaching.
I think that as an about section is something to read. It's great. I could see, using bullet points and things like that. I could even see a condensed version of that living above the fold on your homepage, where you have like a tagline and then it is a few bullets that it just says, okay, this is what we do, or it just highlights a couple things. But that is, I think that it is hard to grasp the full context of your whole about story when we're listening, and it is meant to be read. So I don't. So just make sure you understand that we're not ripping it apart or anything like that. It's harder to follow when it's something meant to be visually digested.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then having a version, I would take that and then have a version that's meant to be, face to face. If you're out at a restaurant and someone asks you, you want to be able to take that and say, okay, what are the key points I want to focus on, so they'll understand really quickly what I do.
Right. I've been also playing around with one of my biggest things, and why I had the word real in before, was because my biggest thing is, again, we're learning about stories today, but when I first started, it's really hard. Like, there's so many Barbizon and this and that, and there's so many scams out there, oh, I'll take your picture, a photographer's trying to scam you. My whole point is to do this is to help people and gain the confidence. That is the reason I'm doing this, is because I want to save everybody literally the heartbreak and teach them how to have stone cold confidence. You can't care. They'll rip you apart. They'll be like, you're an inch too big, and you're like, what the hell? So that's why it's so important to have confidence and to not be ripped off. And I have people coming to me every day. So I kind of wanted to add something like that into it, but I didn't want it to seem negative. So I'm trying to just be really positive in the beginning, as opposed to avoid the scams. And I don't want it to seem like a scam.
Christine, you have something?
I was wondering, I took Dave's comment about my proposition. If I can see what I look like at the beginning when you describe your service, then you're gonna look like a supermodel or whatever wording, and then you tell me how to get there. Maybe I got caught right away, hooked to me right away.
Oh, that's really good advice. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's great. Okay.
Shirley,
yeah, I actually remember the hot sauce company did that for one of them last week.
Perhaps if you try the what it is and what it is not, but in the context of the language or the negative components that are in the business, the things that you're trying to remove from the experience of someone going into modeling, you list all those things out and then create and then list the word next to it that is the polar. That might give you some context around, okay, how can I talk about this in a positive way, without, you don't want to highlight the negativities of the business. You rather talk about what it is that you do that allows them to overcome that, right? But you don't need to focus on it in your pitch.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, great. I'll come up with something better tomorrow.
Kelsey, go for it.
One more quick comment, Charlene. When I was listening to your, I'm going to say something that I'm sure Dave's going to get mad at me for. When I was listening to your value proposition for your about section, I don't actually think it's long enough. I think there needs to be more in there if this is an about section. We don't just need, you can make it longer because you have the space here. This isn't a catchy tagline. Right. And the other thing that really stood out to me is you delivered this value proposition and taught me about how to walk, how to stand, how to be photographed. But then when I hear you talk about your business off record or when you're being really real, you're talking about confidence and wanting people to feel inspired. And I didn't get that from your value proposition. It was very transactional. So I'd love to see you break it out into being an about section. Maybe, Charlene has all these years of experience and she can teach you all of these things, but the company, the real vision is to inspire confidence and self-love in the modeling industry. And I hear that coming from you when I just talked to you. And I want to make sure that really shines because I think that's your value add. People from outside the modeling industry look at it and see Tyra Banks and see yelling at people and see you're too small, you're too big, you'll never make it in the world, and you want to be different. So I think Dave's right with that, what it is and what it's not, and let some of that passion you have shine in this.
No, I fully agree with you, Kelsey. I think 100%. Two things I wrote down here that I didn't mention earlier. One thing was I put your story with a question mark, because if it's an about section, I want to hear a bit more about you and your experience, right? Because people are going to see themselves in you. You know what I mean? Like they want to know, like you are the brand essentially in this, right? So they want to know why you're the one to tell them that, or to show them how to, get through these things in a better way. And, you don't want people to make the same mistakes. So having your story weaved in there, I think would be great. And then confidence was the other thing I put a question on. It's like, you talk about that so much, but where is it in what you're saying? And I think that's one of the key components of this.
Yeah.
And
I was actually going to.
The word confidence.
Not
what does that mean? What does confidence in this mean?
It means to be able to go to a casting, a job, to have the confidence to actually book the job, because part of basically everything in life, but part of modeling especially, or acting especially, is knowing that you can do it and then going to do it. You might not be the exact height that they're looking for, or you might not have, maybe they're looking for blondes, and then you come in there as a brunette, but your aura and the way that you present yourself, they're like, oh, that's the girl for the campaign. It's a lot about that. That's why they do a lot of in-person castings and things like that. There's so much more to this than meets the eye, basically. So that's why it's a little.
So maybe that's part of it too, is if there's so much more to it that most people don't see, if there's a side of the business that you have to be part of it to really understand. Mentioning that, you're going to give them, it's one thing to say, yes, I've had all this experience and I'm going to teach you the tips and the secrets. And like, I bet you lots of companies kind of take that approach, but if you can kind of pull those key things out that you just mentioned, being able to understand these key things that will lead to success in the industry. I know it's hard. You're right. It is a lot. It's a very complex, personal experience. I'm not saying I have the answer to reveal it, but I think you have a lot of threads to pull at here. And I think I love the way you're workshopping it. I think keep at it, and I want to see more.
I was almost going to pass today because it's still a work in progress. I was like, I'll just say what I'm working on because they said to add it. But I do think that it does seem, it's not enough for the about. I agree with everything you're saying. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think you're doing a great job, Charlene. And I love how much yours has changed. I'm excited to see at the end. I think tomorrow's exercise will help you. It will give you a bit more of a framework to give this a try. We're going to spend quite a bit of time on elevator pitching tomorrow. So,
Charlene, I love how confident you're being in your pitches.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. I'm trying.
Okay. We have Chintan up next.
Right. So this is for the landing page, like front in the center, which I already have. If I can show you after, like on a website.
Awesome.
Maybe I'll just talk first. And so it's eco-friendly, sustainable, and stylish dinnerware made from naturally fallen palm leaves. And on the website, like if you scroll down a little bit further, I have our premium quality dinnerware is a perfect eco-friendly solution to plastic and paper plates.
Can you repeat that second sentence one more time?
Our premium quality dinnerware is a perfect eco-friendly solution to the plastic and paper plates.
Okay. Thank you, Chintan. This was for above the fold, you said?
Yes. So the first part is for above the fold. Can I show my website? What I have? You guys can see the screen. So that is what I have.
Friendly, sustainable, stylish. And then where's the second part?
It's here.
I
So I
love
just
how the website it uses that green color for like wellness and everything, like, but it's like it's really clean. Like I like it.
Awesome. Who wants to go to give some feedback? I have some things I want to say, but I want somebody else to go. Let's pick on. Everybody's gone, right? We have Max. Have you given any feedback yet? Max is napping. Andre, you go.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, that looks really great. Sorry, I love the actual website itself. Is really nice. Yeah, this looks really good. This is just for the website. Is it just going to exist here?
yes. So I have like this at the top, like a kind of tagline, just to give a visitor an idea, like what it is.
Yes.
And then if you scroll down, just gives a little bit more like how it's replacing, or what is an alternative to this like this product is about.
Yeah. I think it looks good. I think it could use a bit of flair. Like it could sound a bit more exciting. I think it's a great explanation of your product. It's nice and clear. I know exactly what it is, what I'm getting, what I can purchase. But yeah, it could be a little more fun.
Okay.
Thank you, Andre. Oh, Christine, go for it.
I like the way Andrea said the fun part. And if I look at your first, like the one above the fold, and kind of give me that feeling of, okay, those are naturally fallen palm leaves, which is good because I can kind of visualize it and having that image. If you go back down there again, the last paragraph, the last sentence, a perfect eco-friendly solution for parties. I would like to see, I think it will make me feel, it will catch me better, is make it more precise, like rather than shopping at parties, picnic, restaurant, it could be a perfect eco-friendly solution for all dining experience, or make it look like it's stylish being at your house or impress your friends, that kind of thing. I don't know.
Great observation, Christine. I think yeah, that's something to think about for the future. Is where is this going, especially with the current climate, right? For disposable dinnerware. So you never know. Like there could be a full expansion to these being more of a solution for full dining experience rather than just for parties, picnics, restaurants, and catering.
Right.
My thought. Can you go back to the top for a sec? I really love the coloring, great minimal layout from a visual perspective. That white and nice green, you're leaning into that natural thought of environmental consciousness. My issue that I have is actually with your tagline is very B2B. It is not flashy or anything like that, and that's fine, but it's very B2B. You're just telling me exactly what it is. It's dinnerware made from naturally fallen palm leaves. There's no flash, there's no splash. And that's okay if that's what you want to be. If you want to be very like straight, call it like being a straight man in marketing. You're very like, okay, this is what I am, and that's all I am, and it's no BS. But if you wanted to add a bit of personality to the brand, that's where I would maybe think about going. Can you go down to the next section? Maybe taking the tagline or taking a perfect eco-friendly solution for parties, picnics, whatever, and bringing that up to the top. It's okay to just say what you are, but then like right now you're just kind of bullet points. So you have no tagline there yet. There's no there's no hook, there's no emotion to it. But that's okay if all you want to do is wholesale and B2B. You want to just like, this is what we are. Do you want them? We have them. You know what I mean? So it's totally up to you and how you want to represent the brand. But right now it is very almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Sterile. So if that's what you're going for, it's working really well. If it's not, if you want to add in a personality, then I would say you might want to change that up a little bit.
Right. So it would be for both B2B and B2C. So maybe as like you said, like maybe add this like parties, picnics as like a bullet points and change.
Yeah, that's where it would maybe go below. But even those are just bullet points, right? It's still just saying kind of that's more like ways you can use the product.
Mm-hmm.
There's still no kind of emotional context to it. I feel like there's something else you can kind of pull out from there, or more on the environmental side of the business. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Chintan.
Yep.
Why do I, as a consumer, care about a palm leaf?
Right. Good point, Kelsey.
I care about the environment. I care about being sustainable. I care about going out and having a picnic with all my friends from Leap In because I miss you all so much. I don't mean to be crass, but why do I care about a palm leaf? Why the first thing I don't see on your website, 100% compostable dinnerware? Because what it's made of, if it's made of potato starch or palm leaves or a hosta or a cedar tree that I hollowed into a bowl, I'm a consumer who throws things away.
Mm-hmm. So
I see that featured more.
And if you're a business looking for the same thing, that's what you care about, right? Not that it's palm leaves, that it's compostable.
Right. So maybe add some more contact on the leaves. Why palm leaves?
Chintan, are these reusable?
No, they are disposable.
I'd like to actually see you flip.
If you could reuse them, if that's an option, or if they're meant to be thrown away after one use.
You could use it, like we just tell customers, if you're using for like dry food, like, sandwich or chips or nuts, you could just reuse one over. If it's wet food, then we don't recommend like washing and reusing it.
Gotcha.
Can I add something? As a mom, and when I first had my kids, this is just a whole nother thing for you to think about, and different ways that you could tell people how to use it. It was really important for me to have things that wouldn't leach, like BPA and stuff like that, into my kids. So that's a whole nother thing that I don't hear at all, is about how it's safe for kids. And I think that's a whole market you could really, like, everybody buys everything for their kids. As soon as I hear something healthy, I'm like, oh wow, I'm gonna grab that, So it might be something you might want to think about.
Great context there, Shirley. And I think if you were ever looking to compare yourself to a competitor in that way, I think comparing how you're different to plastic and the harmful natures of that, I think that's a great way to frame it, Shirley.
I just want to say, like, I'm really interested in like saving, the fact that you can save trees because you're not using trees to make like paper plates. You know what I mean? So it's made out of leaves. So that's another part of the environment.
This kind of makes me think that, like, not for this section, but what I would love to see at some point in your website is maybe it's a grid or maybe it's a paragraph, and it's like, plastics consumes oil, eco palm leaves saves trees, plastic fills our landfill, eco dinnerware fertilizes your garden, plastic it leaches BPA and kills the sea lions, eco palm leaves gives back to communities, like kind of like that like Mac PC play. I think something like that could live somewhere in here and be really kind of pithy and fun.
Yeah, actually, I have. Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say, like, I do have the comparison, like, comparing with I don't have it on a website, but I have that. I usually take it to the shows when I go there, when I have like something on a display on a table. So I have that, slide going on, which compares plastic, paper, cornstarch, and like bamboo and stuff. But that is something I can add on a website.
Yeah, like giving yourself an opportunity to show your impact.
Mhm.
like how you're creating change in the industry. The other thing I just thought of too is if I replaced Eco Palm Leaves, if I replaced Chinton's business with one of your competitors that's selling something almost identical,
Mhm.
what makes you different? And right now I see a lot of surface level dialogue. So there's nothing uniquely you about the brand right now, unless you were the only exclusive seller of these products.
The only thing I can say is premium quality. That is because I realized that when I was at one of the event, and I had people stopping by at my booth, and they said, like, we use the same product, but they are not finished like yours. Like, it's probably trimmed, and the quality, because leaves could be good quality or bad quality. So that's when I realized, and that's when I added the premium quality word to the website. But is there anything else you would suggest?
Well, I think, yeah, I think getting a little deeper into more of the social and emotional side of the business maybe will help reveal some of those uniqueness. I think premium quality is great, but if your manufacturer starts selling to another supplier or another distributor, then they're just as premium quality as you. So what's your big differentiator? Like, I think your brand needs a bit more of a unique personality.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see that shine through somehow.
Okay.
But it looks great and it sounds great. I know exactly what it is. And if I was a restaurant looking, you know what I mean? And I'm just looking because I need dinnerware for takeout and things like that. It's easy. The site's easy to navigate. It looks like it gets me all the right places. So as again, I said, it's context, right? So things we're saying are a bit more for the long term. So you stand out as a unique brand in the space.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for wholesale and B2B, it's what you need right now, definitely.
Okay.
But I think you should definitely think about leaning into that other side so that if the space gets really competitive, which I think it will over time, it's going to get more and more competitive. You want to make sure that the foothold you have is strong with brand. Awesome. Great job, Chinton. And great feedback, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
We have, what time is it? 10 after. Andre, do you want to have a chance to go? I know you've been working on your business, and I didn't know if you had a new value
prop. I have not been working on my value prop. I have been working on my business, but in different ways.
Okay, that's okay.
I can try and go. I mean, if you really want me to.
I just thought I would give you an opportunity since we had a couple extra minutes. Don't feel pressure.
I wrote something, but it's just, I will explain, I guess, that I'm pivoting my business into a more fine art lens, I guess. And so that requires like a very structured artist statement. There's a lot of like weird rules that you have to follow. And
interesting.
So I can read you what I wrote for the one that I think will be my official artist statement, I guess. But it is kind of always changing because...
Can you tell us what an artist statement is, Andre?
Yeah, basically it's like it's very similar to a value proposition or a elevator pitch in where you kind of sum up what your practice is in maybe 2 to 3 sentences. So it's the kind of thing you would include with an application for exhibition or alongside your work if it's anywhere in print. And so I'm going to find it. Just give me a sec. And so I've been working on it because it kind of changes. The more you kind of progress in your career as an artist, the more you can include or maybe your work changes. And so then your artist statement has to change to reflect what your work looks like. So right now mine sounds like this. Andre Garzon is an artist, illustrator, and writer based in London, Ontario. His practice centers around themes of home, introspection, love, and queer identity, and with a regular focus on BIPOC and LGBTQ issues. He's passionate about the arts and culture in London, Ontario, and is often a collaborator within its editorial and community art initiatives. Andre's artwork and writings have been featured in Muse Magazine, Sea Collective, and Huron and Erie Regional Digest. He is a current resident artist at Good Sport Gallery. You can view more of his work here. So it's a lot of like rewriting because you want it to be concise too, but you also want it to not be too brief, or else it doesn't talk about anything that you do.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Great
I'm
job.
open to feedback as well. If you think that, I don't know if any of you have seen my work at all on Instagram, is where I mostly post it, but if that's reflective of what my work is, I hope it is.
Can you read it one more time?
Sure. It's Andre Garzon is an artist, illustrator, and writer based in London, Ontario. His practice centers around themes of home, introspection, love, and queer identity, with a regular focus on BIPOC and LGBTQ issues. He is passionate about the arts and culture in London, Ontario, and is often a collaborator within its editorial and community art initiatives. Andre's artwork and writings have been featured in Muse Magazine, Sea Collective, and Huron and Erie Regional Digest. He is a current resident artist at Good Sport Gallery and Artist Run Center. You can view more of his work at andregarzon.ca.
So it's almost like a mini resume in like
basically, yeah. Because your CV, which is like essentially an artist's resume, it can be like 19 pages because you have to include everything that you're featured in. And so the more exhibitions, the more publications you're in, the longer it gets.
Gotcha. Very good. I think it's concise. I've seen a lot of your work over the last few years, and I think you've summed it up really good. I don't know. I've never seen a version of this before, but I got it all in a couple sentences, so I liked it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of editing, and for it to sound, I want it to sound professional but not boring, because I've read a lot of boring artist statements, and so I want it to be, and my work is not like super serious. So I have to make it sound a bit more serious than it looks so that it doesn't get super dismissed, I guess. So yeah.
Awesome.
Can I offer some feedback?
Of course.
I love it. I think it's great. I agree with Dave. I've seen a lot of your artwork over the last year, and I think it's really good. I'm a little concerned that you don't think your work is serious. That's especially in the last 4 months. I've definitely seen your art take a lot more of a political and activism stance. My only suggestion for possible improvement is your kind of middle statement where you talk about what your work features. I'd flip it. So talk about how you talk about home, and I can't remember exactly everything you said, and then with themes of queer identity, focusing on BIPOC, that I'd flip those, because at least in the last 4 months, I've seen that be much more of a theme in your work. And I think those are something that's something for you that makes you stand out, is that you don't shy away from tough conversations. You're an activist, your community comes first, and you use your art to express that. And I think if your statement was flipped, it would show me that a little bit more about you.
Thank you. That's very useful. Thank you.
I love it. It's really great to hear it as well, because I mean, for all of you, we talk about your businesses all the time, but at Leap, we kind of forget to ask each other about the businesses that we're running on the side. Well, these two, I'm not, but it's kind of fun to do this for us. So thanks, Andre.
It's a lot of it happens in the background, and so yeah, it's nice to hear some feedback, because most of the time it's just me like reading it over and over again.
We should be better about that. We should be more open and talking.
That's okay. As you're doing it now.
We're always just so busy. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're finding the time to be able to do that, Andre. It's awesome to see changes and development. You know, it's easy to feel stuck when you don't have the time and you're working on so many other things. So yeah. I'm glad to see things are moving in a direction.
I think the rest period is really important. I was reading recently about the importance of like when you are, and this is kind of applies to everybody in my opinion, but as an artist specifically, there are like ebbs and flows in the whole process. And there are times when you do not feel like making any artwork and you do not feel inspired at all. And the gut reaction is like to push through, and that's okay. If you feel like you should, if you feel like you're on the brink of something, then push through. But also it's important to let your mind, body, creativity rest a bit, and then recharge. And I think that's what I was going through as well in the past little while. Like I did not feel like making a lot, and so I just didn't. And then now I feel very inspired and want to make new work. And so that process is important to, it's important to let it happen as well.
I agree. Definitely. I think it applies. I think that context applies to all of us with, finding that balance. Not every day is going to be a super inspirational day and you just going to let it happen. Right. So
there's different facets of your business that you can focus on. So when I don't feel like making actual physical artwork, I will work on this kind of stuff because it doesn't require as much energy or creativity. It's more of like a editing process and stuff like that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Andre. And thank you everybody else. Great job. Happy to see changes every day. So this is awesome. I'm glad we have this platform to allow everybody to workshop and use us as a sounding board. Remember, this is a safe space. So everything here is just, meant to just give you a different perspective. So happy that Value Prop Roulette is going well. So with that, I think we're going to take a 10-minute break. So just come back at 10:30 and Paula will be joining us at that time for our first workshop of the day. And definitely, she said she will stick around for 15 minutes afterwards if you have questions. So make sure you're writing your questions down if things are popping into your head. Other than that, any other thoughts, questions, concerns before we take a little break? No? Awesome. See you all in about 10 minutes.